Hello, and today we're going to look at human effects on the nitrogen cycle. So to start with, it's quite important to talk about why human effects on the nitrogen cycle are important. And this is because human activities upset the dynamic equilibrium by altering processes, either by adding things or taking things away, and that alters reservoirs in the nitrogen cycle. So let's have a look at the first one then, and that's the Haber process. Now, the Haber process is a revolutionary one from quite a long time ago now, and it enables humans to produce artificial fertilizer effectively from diatomic nitrogen from the atmosphere, which is this one, and hydrogen, which is quite an exciting energetic gas that we usually derive for this process from natural gas. And this produces ammonia. And this is the magic ingredient for making stuff grow, because we take the ammonia and we convert it into nitrates. And this becomes our fertilizer. If we add fertilizer to plants, including things with nitrogen in it, then we get bigger crop yields. And if we get bigger crop yields, we have more food, and farmers have, hopefully, more profit, which is their incentive to do so. So let's have a look at the Haber process just to make sure we're all familiar with it. So we got the nitrogen from the atmosphere combined with hydrogen from natural gas. So you sort of crack natural gas, which is methane, CH4. You take off the carbon from it, and you end up with just plain hydrogen. Pass it through a compressor, and put it into a reaction vessel. The reaction vessel has an iron catalyst in it, so that this reaction takes place faster at lower temperatures and pressures, but the temperature and pressure is still significant. 200 atmospheres, so that's really high pressure, and 400 to 500 degrees centigrade, so really high temperature as well, which means lots of energy, typically derived from fossil fuels. This then is passed into a condenser, which helps cool it down. So it has cold water or coolant going through it. And then the reacted nitrogen and hydrogen produce ammonia, which then goes off to create our nitrates. And any unreacted gases are passed back into the reaction vessel to have another go around, so nothing's wasted. Next one then is agriculture. So we can have things like our farmer in their tractor, and they're going to apply fertilizer to increase yields. However, this can result in leaching of our nitrates into rivers, causing eutrophication, which we visited before, especially after things like heavy rains. This obviously helps increase the rate of leaching. The other thing we might do is drainage. So here we've got field boundary with a drain in. This makes the soil aerobic, and this therefore increases the amount of nitrifying bacteria and reduces anaerobic conditions. And this means less denitrifying bacteria. The other thing we have then is the use of ploughing. This is where the soil is turned over to plant crops. And this makes it more disturbed. It disturbs the soil, meaning that the rate of dead organic matter decomposition increases. Because it's aerobic, and aerobic respiration is more efficient, so therefore faster. And this means that we have more nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere. And the last one is using leguminous crops or clover, which is a trifolium. So here's legumes. Well, another word for this is peas and beans. And clover, they both increased nitrogen because they have a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen fixing bacteria. In root nodules, so that will increase soil nitrates if it's allowed to decompose into the soil, and plants can absorb it. And then the next one is pollution. So the good old-fashioned combustion engine has a high temperature, high enough that it can produce oxides of nitrogen, NOx, which are the result of nitrogen molecules being broken down under those high temperatures and reacting with oxygen. So this can happen in cars or in uncontrolled combustion in sort of industrial applications. And this means that this NOx in the atmosphere can then be washed or deposited into the soil increasing nitrates.